Hey guys, world is coming to an end, unfortunately. We only have the finals left between Weibo and SKT. And, I think you know what's gonna happen. I think Faker will get his title. That's just my opinion, my humble opinion. And whether or not you guys, the Shy fanboys, might think otherwise, you will see on Sunday, okay? But with that being said, I think there is so much to learn from these type of games, especially the series between JDG and T1. I think this series was so much fun. I was actually surprised that T1 took it 3-1. I thought it would at least be a 5-game series, if not for the advantage of JDG. But what I wanted to emphasize in this video and talk with you guys about is how Ruler managed his laning phase in this horrible matchup when he's playing Kalista Senna versus Gumayusis and Keria on Caitlyn plus Ashe. Two dominant lane bullies that will take your tower by the 10-minute mark if you screw up. So with that in fact as well, with how this level 1 played out, I think it was just really impressive how Ruler managed to come back from this. I'm gonna skip forward a little bit because we all know how this fight went, right? It did play it to the best of his ability, but it's not really what I wanna emphasize in this play. In this review rather. He gets the first kill, right? But they trade 2 back, and I think Kanavi is still level 1, so they already kind of know what's gonna happen. Ona will most likely path towards bot side. Kanavi will as well, and they will look to play 3-3, right? So in the beginning of this in this lane, there's not a whole lot going on actually. Ruler and Missing both know that they have the range disadvantage and won't be able to secure the slow push, which is why they're just kind of just letting go of the wave. They're not even looking to contest it. A small detail we saw that Missing did there is just to tank the Ashe volley whenever it's up, so that both bot lanes of JDG doesn't get hit, right? This is what they do consistently throughout the laning phase, and it's just something that you should do as well. Like if you're support or AD carry, like someone tank the Ashe W, I swear. I've seen this so many times where both of them are getting hit. It's just super annoying. So they're getting shoved in here, right? Nothing special yet. It's just Caitlyn Ashe. It's just how this matchup goes, right? But what I really want to emphasize is what's about to happen now. So up until this point, Ruler and Missing have not been able to trade back onto Gumayusis and Keria just because of the fact that Caitlyn Ashe has a really big wave. If they try to trade into that wave, they will lose. They usually just lose by default. So in order to stabilize this laning phase, you have to look for trades when the waves are even. And I think this is what Ruler is just about to do now. He sees that the wave is now being negated and the next wave is going to be even. And even though he knows that he cannot get prio on the next wave as well, because of the fact that these guys have so much range advantage and kind of counters Kalista as a champion, he will be able to try at least to find a trade here. And you see how he's instantly trying to walk up. If that Q hits, he will actually be able to trade to probably get Caitlyn's potion and be able to sustain the lane a little bit. So he made a mistake there by dodging, missing his Q. I think Gumayusis played it well as well. But you can kind of see the idea of you need to abuse the small window timers that you have in these unfavorable matchups. We saw level 1 once again how T1 just dominated the bot side fight, and now it's just about Ruler and Missing. Try to stabilize this lane, try to minimize the slow push as much as you can, try to thin out the wave as much as you can, but most importantly, look for these trade timers when the wave is even. So you see now he missed his opportunity. Okay, not much to do, he just has to go back and chill, right? There's gonna come another option, another trading area really soon actually. And I think this is actually one of the mistakes that Gumayusis does in this laning phase. So there's slow pushing, which is just what you should do, right? As Caitlyn Ashe, you should want to build up a big of a wave as possible. And here is the mistake from Gumayusis, right? So really slight and really small. But just the fact that Ruler and Missing are using this timer when the wave is not big enough yet, and also using the fact that Gumayusis is actually stepping up a bit too far here, and they are using the size of their own wave, because enemy wave hasn't arrived yet, to look to get this trade done. And they have to do this. If they don't, they're gonna keep getting shut down, they're gonna keep getting slow pushed in, and they won't be able to find another angle, right? So just because the wave is even, this is the point where they can do this, right? Gumayusis, sure, he makes a mistake, but this trade is really all you need. Ruler and Missing in this game, they are not playing to win their lane, in a way. They're not, of course, if they can, they want to obviously win the lane phase if they can't, but they have kind of recognized that, hey, we're playing to Caitlyn Ashe, and probably Maokai is gonna camp the F out of bot lane this game as well, and use these small trading timers is what's making the difference here. Here, Ruler is making a crucial mistake of, well, walking up towards the wave, even though he has no backup from his jungler, and they pretty much know that Maokai is bot side here as well, but I guess he thought that he was still clearing. He's trying to cancel the recall here because he knew that Gumayusis was low HP, and hence he can then get the pry on the wave, right? So it's a good thought process from Ruler, because this is his timer to kind of get back into the game, right? He's quite behind in 10 CS already, but if he can get this wave in and get the tempo and get the first recall, he can stabilize the lane further. So this doesn't happen, right? And he's kind of lucky actually that Owner has W on cooldown. I was so surprised when I was watching this live. I was like, hey, how does he not die instantly? But then we see that they do get the kill in the end, but luckily Kanavi is here to clean up. And yes, Ruler gets a bit lucky here because Gumayusis cannot crash the wave in time, and he actually has to deal with the next wave as well, which ends up making Ruler not lose pretty much anything at all, right? He's losing like 1 or 2 creeps, and so far so good, right? It looks really... These movements are really slight, but it's just, once again, they are looking to trade the second that they see that the wave is either even or slightly in their favor, right? And we saw that Gumayusis got punished by this because he was not respecting the fact that they could look to trade on that wave because the wave was not in an advantage for T1. So now, this will happen. Gumayusis just bases. Ruler will look to slow push this. This is their timer to slow push. And I think here, JDG makes a crucial mistake, and I think they definitely could have played this one out better. If I'm playing bot lane here, and I'm playing in a matchup like this, where it's really explosive, like usually who gets ahead first is gonna stay ahead, right? Like if you gift a kill over to Caitlyn Ashe, or same for Kalista, right? They're gonna be able to take over. And just the fact that this bot lane, this game rather, is played so heavily around bot lane, I think this is what Owner actually did really well in this game. He was constantly pathing to bot, constantly trying to gank, constantly trying to set up vision for his bot lane to be able to play aggressively. And you see here how when JG does not call Kanavi, they're actually getting mega gapped by this. I think it's a crucial mistake here for Kanavi to go Gromp and then path to top and try to get a gank off. I think this is what he will try to do actually. Oh wait, never mind. This is a later timer actually. Okay. My bad. They are actually calling him, but their wave is in a really rough spot, to say the least. To say the least. And they're gonna look to call Kanavi down, right? Just to get this wave in. And this is what they have to do. Like, you sometimes in these lane phases, you can't win the game or like stabilize the lane in a 2v2 scenario. Sometimes you have to just call your jungler for a help. And what they do, they look to crash the wave, and now the wave is back to even. And this is what you have to do as well when you play this type of matchups, when you're not supposed to be winning early, right? Once again, you have seen that the only timers when the ADC is actually contesting the prio is when the wave is even. Whenever Gumayusis and Keria has a mini advantage, they are just backing up the tower, and they are looking to thin out the wave as much as they can, but they're not looking to trade. But this timer, when the wave is actually even, is their only timers where they can actually contest the priority in the early game. If it's a 2v2 scenario, right? I think here, Ruler is gonna make a big mistake actually in... And one of the few mistakes that he does in this game is he goes back to buy tier 2 boots to get back to lane faster, but he doesn't recognize that he's playing actually into double range support carries, right, on the bot lane. So they are able to fastly push this wave in, and Rule is gonna lose like most of it. But all in all, if he didn't do that mistake, he would have probably like 60 CS right now, and he would only be 9 CS behind and 1 plate. I would say against Caitlyn and Ashe plus Maokai camping bot for pretty much the whole game is a really, like, for sure it's a good job done by Ruler and Missing. Now, what Ruler is doing here is he does not want to slow push this wave because of the fact that he knows that his support wants to move for Herald and they want to contest it. If he would slow push this bot wave here, Caitlyn Ashe could look to freeze on him, and even though his team would get Herald, he would lose a bunch of minions in return, right? So all he does is just crash that wave, and now enemy bot lane is allowed to slow push if they want to, but he quickly recognizes that Gumayusi is just shoving this wave in, which kinda signals that they don't want to go for a dive. Usually if you want to dive, you need 1 or like 2 at least, or 3 waves even. But when they shove this wave in, he can kind of tell that they're probably going Drake, and you look to trade for the Herald, right? Which makes him able to secure this wave. And this is another play that he does that I think is also really smart. You see how Kanavi is still doing Herald on top side, right? This will say, like, T1 knows this already, and Owner knows that he can instantly walk into enemy bot side once he's done with Drake. And Ruler missing, they know this, so he has decided to take red away from Owner, because he knows that Vi realistically won't be in time to contest this anyways, right? So, get some gold under his belt, gets a red buff, gets a regen, and just move back to lane phase, right? He just loses 1 creep out of this, so definitely, like, worth. So you see how he's making this... He's not even really contesting Caitlyn and Ashe on the waves. He's only doing so when the wave is even, and when it's not, he's just backing off the tower, playing on range really, but he's also punishing these small timers that he is receiving in this game when the wave is even, right? This is the fact, this is why he can stabilize in this laning phase, and I think he did a really good job on doing that in this game too. Sure, he's still 10 CS behind and 2 plates, but that's, I would say, a good thing when you're playing this matchup. I would say it's really hard, especially after level 1 and what happened. Sure, Senna can sustain a bit, right? And once you get to mid game with this with these 2 champs, you will be a lot stronger if you're JDG, right? Their comp is a lot stronger in mid game. Caitlyn and Ashe are kind of sitting ducks in mid against Vi and Orianna. So this is their target, right? He's not playing to get ahead. He's just playing to not get behind. And I think his decision making in this game was really clutch. Here he's just gonna look to recall, right? Easy enough. But then Keria makes an insane play by putting this arrow onto Ruler. And this might seem small, right? Just cancel his recall. But if you fast forward, this actually makes him lose an entire wave and 2 plates from so really, like, well played by Keria, right? Really clutch arrow. And this, of course, what you don't want to happen, to get denied your tempo base like this. But in the end, it's what happens. There's still, you know, only 7 CS down. He's 300 gold down on Caitlyn. And once again, once they get to mid game, once this Kalista enters mid, they'll be able to play the game a lot more with Kanavi around them. So here they move for a fight. They are able to get the prio because Keria was in river, busy getting vision, right? This fight, when I was watching it back in the replay, looked really, really doomed. But watch Ruler's movement here, actually, how he dodges out on everything that Aatrox does. Jumps the Q, jumps the W, then jumps over the wall and just secures him, secures his safety. Really well played micro there from Ruler. So after this, not much really happens, right? Ruler goes to catch bot, plating will then soon fall. Tries to cancel Gumayusi, doesn't achieve so, but it's able to then base, and now after this wave rather, and goes into mid, right? And kind of ends the laning phase there, and it's just really impressive. If I know for sure, if I was playing this game, I would get my ass handed to me if that was the level 1 and it was a challenge game. I know for sure, but with Ruler's ability to identify the small few trade timers that he did have in the early game when the wave was pretty much even, look to punish Gumayusi on that, I think it was the 5th wave, was really, really impressive. And what kind of carried him out to the laning phase. And then when he was, even though when there was like a bunch of bot waves pushing towards Gumayusis and Keria, he was never risking dying. He was just waiting patiently for Kanavi, knowing that he had to give up some CS in order to get the most of the wave later on, right? And that's gonna be it for the video, guys. If you don't know me, I am Emtest. I used to play professionally as an AD carry for like 5 or 6 years. I've been challenger in multiple seasons, but now I turned into a coach and kind of content creator, right? So with that in mind, if you do like this type of videos where I go really in depth of trying to improve myself and you as an AD carry, then please let me know, either by liking the video or commenting below on what you would like to see more of, and I'll make it happen. There is still a lot more Worlds content to be had, so if there is something you guys want to see, then please let me know. Stay tuned, I will see you guys soon, and man, I hope you guys are watching on Sunday. It's gonna be so hype. I know that SKT will get their title, and I'm making the biggest jinx in the world by announcing it right now, right? But I think they are by far the favorites, we can already tell. And I don't think the shy gap will be enough for T1. So yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.